Alright, listen, I'm here in Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester. As you can see, calling it a garden is like calling the people of Manchester a pleasure to be around. Manchester has one of the least green city centres in the UK, and Piccadilly Gardens is the poster child for this concrete shitopolis. After turning the measly grass patches into the mother of all skid marks, the City Council installed some sort of Frankenstein half grass, half plastic, or grastic. It's times like these I'm glad I'm from the good old Emerald Isle, though now I'm going to tell you why I shouldn't be so smug. We've all heard that thing that a few thousand years ago a squirrel could go from one end of Ireland to the other without ever touching the ground. Ireland's ancient forests dominated the landscape and were intrinsically tied to its identity and people, but gradually, due to agricultural expansion, most of the forests were cut down. By 1925, only 1.3% of Ireland's surface was woodland. Isn't that mental? Since then, measurements indicate that the Republic is around 11% and the North about 8%. But even then, most of these woods are coniferous plantations that aren't native and are younger than me. I've seen more Alaskan trees in my life than I have Irish ones. Which brings us here to Benevena, a peak in the northwest of Ireland. I used to visit my grandmother up here, and when I was thinking about this topic, I was reminded of the weird little rectangles of evergreens plonked amidst the boglands. At first glance, you'd think the forests are a bit odd, and you'd be right. Ireland's government asked the owners of agricultural land to plant trees instead of crops to fix the deforestation problem, and the landowners did just that. They planted tightly packed conifers that grow fast and make lots of money, but in doing so, they created a monoculture. Have you ever been in a room with a group of people who all think, say and do the exact same thing as you? This is that for trees. It's like going to the pub on a Monday night with a group of 20-year-old finance bros. Listen to that. Unnatural silence. Awkward silence. These trees have nothing to talk about. There's no birds chirping about nuts, no bushes rustling in the wind, and no insects squirting out their maggot babies. The ground is covered in these old needles, so no plants can grow here. Would you live on a pile of dead skin and fingernails? No, you wouldn't. There's barely even any light getting in here. There's no ecosystem whatsoever. It actually makes me feel quite uneasy. And would you believe about 70% of Ireland's woods are made up of conifers just like these? To be fair, there is work being done. Reforest Nation have planted 1 million native trees in Ireland, but have yet to make much of an impact in the north. And the Woodland Trust here is in the process of planting a new native forest in the hills above Belfast, God bless them. But is it enough? For like the last 30 years, people have been going out in their wellies and planting trees and patting each other on the back for a planet well saved, yet we're still well below the 37% European average woodland density. I'll leave all that climate change stuff to Greta. My argument is more holistic. Trees release phytoncides, which, when we inhale them, give a boost to our immune system. Phytoncides have an anti-inflammatory effect, reduce stress and anxiety, improve our mood. When we're in nature, it's healing our mind and body, literally, physiologically. If you're starving and in need of good food, do you think it's more beneficial to eat a home-cooked meal of locally produced organic whole foods, or a bag of Twiglets that an insect wouldn't even touch?